Hey guys, Mick and Michelle here. In this video we're going to talk about what we think is one of the most useful first aid things you can get for mountain biking, or for general first aid for that matter. Obviously, most important thing is to go get some training, because it is really useful to actually know what you're doing. But from equipment to carry on your bike that's light and convenient, we have Gladwrap. So this is probably the thing that we use more than any other item when we're out riding. So what you're going to do is you're going to open the box, take the long roll out, stick it down on a cutting board, use a nice sharp kitchen knife. The one I've got here is a bread knife that's a bit dodgy, but basically that should work for you, and you're going to cut it into 3 pieces. Now what you end up with out of this is 3 very convenient, easy to throw in your pack bandages out of Gladwrap. Why Gladwrap? Well, there's a couple of advantages of Gladwrap. One is it's really cheap. So we often end up doing a lot of first aid out in the field for random people we meet, and as much as we're always happy to help people out and patch them up, you end up putting $20 worth of band-aids on them, bandages and various things on them. If you use this, it costs you about 30 cents. The other advantages of this is it's really small, it's really light, super versatile, and being food grade, it's actually pretty sterile. So how can we use it and what can we use it for? First obvious thing is cuts and grazes. So if you use Michelle's arm here for a moment. So assuming Michelle has got a big gouge on her arm here somewhere, all you want to do is pull a layer off, and it's a bit manky from where I've cut it. Chuck the outside bit away because that's probably a bit dirty from being in your pack, and then you can simply apply to the wound. The really cool thing with this is it goes on super easy, it sticks to itself, it's pretty sterile, and the paramedics actually seem to like it because they can actually see the wound afterwards and you can see what it's like. You can apply a huge amount of compression just by putting multiple layers on, so it works really well. Like I say, it's probably one of the best things we use. So the other sorts of injuries that you often encounter out on the trail, sprains and sore, wrists or even breaks, where you may want to splint it. So if we say Michelle now has a busted wrist.
I can't ride.
So yeah, she's being a sook and can't ride down until we strap it up. So once again, you can use it in the same way that you would use an elastic bandage. And it works really well. You simply put on lots of layers, and as much as it's really thin, once you put multiple layers on, you'll find it's way more supportive than what you thought it would be. So with Michelle now, that's actually pretty supportive, and it's quite hard for her to move her wrist. So yeah, this works really well. If you want to splint it against something, that works. Great for knees, ankles, wrists. You just put on as much as you need. I've used got a 30 meter roll, so for this so far I've probably used about 1 meter of it, and I've got heaps of it left. So if you need some more support, you can just put more on. The other thing that we sort of see a bit of, I guess, is things like broken collarbones. Now, ideally for that, what you want to do is put the arm in a position there and basically support it reasonably comfortably. So you normally do that with a sling. The way we're going to do it, once again, is just with some Gladwrap. Just got to find the end. That's always the slow part of this process, finding the end of the roll. Okay, so a little bit messier, but once again, it still works pretty well. So all we're going to do, put our arm up, around this way. Yeah. If it breaks, it just sticks to itself, so it doesn't really matter. Sometimes a little bit fiddly on the edge where you've cut it. I probably should have cleaned that up a little bit before I started. You can go around that way. Okay, then you can take another strip if you want to and simply wrap around. Once again, you can go around as much as you need to, but you'll notice I've managed to immobilise it pretty well. And all of this is done with using probably 10 cents worth of Gladwrap. Super easy to chuck in your tool bag or in your backpack, weighs absolutely nothing, and there's most things you can fix with it. Theoretically, you could use it for snake bites. Obviously, I'm not an expert in that. A constrictive bandage would always be my choice, but if I had this with me and I didn't have a constrictive bandage, then I guess I'd go and use this and give it a go. There's no real reason why it shouldn't work. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully this was useful, and hopefully we won't be patching you up out on the trails anytime soon. Thanks a lot.